News Thursday of a second Jazz player, Donovan Mitchell, testing positive for coronavirus. And word later that day from the first. That would be Utah center Rudy Gobert posting an apology on Instagram, saying in part, the first and most important thing is I would like to publicly apologize to the people that I may have endangered. At the time, I had no idea I was even infected. I was careless and make no excuse. Gobert going on to say, I hope my story serves as a warning and causes everyone to take this seriously. I will do whatever I can to support using my experience as a way to educate others and prevent the spread of this virus. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver speaking Thursday on the season's suspension.
Even if we're out for a month, even if we're out for 6 weeks, we could still restart the season. You know, it might mean that then the finals take place in July, you know, late July. Just my feeling was it was way premature to suggest that we had lost the season. It's and again, it may seem odd at the same moment that we're saying for health reasons we need to take a break to talk about restarting it, and that the notion of at least 30 days was just to try to give people some guidance. It was really a moment for us to step back, take a breath, ensure that everyone in the NBA community was safe and healthy and doing everything they needed to do to care for their families, and then give us some time to deliberate and figure out if there's a way that we can resume playing at some point.
Certainly feels like so much has happened sports-wide since that announcement from the NBA. Adrian Wojnarowski is here with us this morning. So the NBA is going to take a 30-day hiatus. What are they monitoring over that span?
Well, there's another wave now of testing that's going on among the teams, and among those team players and teams who've competed against the Jazz in recent weeks, and then teams who competed against the teams who played the Jazz. And so that's for starters. And so I think the league wants to see by early next week, when those test results are back, are there more positive tests? How does that impact the rosters of teams? And they want teams to stay in town. There's not going to be formal workouts here in the next few days. Most teams have closed their facilities to the players and told them, go be with your families, but they don't want them out traveling. It's not a time to go on vacation somewhere. And in that way, they're trying to do their part in limiting the scope of the possible transmission of the virus.
It was your reporting that said, look, the owners are the ones asking Adam Silver to take 30 days and then reevaluate the situation. So that's coming from the owners. What else is coming from them in terms of what they want Silver to do?
Well, they need guidance in this matter. This is uncharted territory for everybody. And whether it's, I think the owners, the teams, they've really looked to the league here in the last month as this conversation has started about what shape or form a hiatus might take for the NBA. They need information from health organizations. They need financial information about the implications that all the decisions they have to make here. Listen, step away from the health side of it first, and they need to get a handle on that. But at some point, this is also a financial decision for the league. Yeah. They took a massive hit on that fractured relationship with China. They're going to take another financial hit here with this hiatus. And then in what shape could they possibly resume the season? What would the season look like? Would there even be any more regular season games? Would they move just to the playoffs based on how long they were out? And there's implications short-term, long-term for this league right now. And again, they are really looking to the league office to help guide them here.
Go ahead. I was going to say, I think because the NBA was such a leader in this, right? The first major
they were the domino. They started
North American sports league. I think so many other aspects of sports are looking at the NBA to lead. And now you're saying that the NBA itself is sort of in uncharted territory, which is entirely understandable.
Yeah, they just don't have answers to all the questions that are there. They don't know when or if they'll be able to resume. They don't know, will we have players who are testing positive, not in this, just in this wave, but what happens in a month or 6 weeks when let's say there's a time where players and teams are preparing to restart the season and another player tests positive and you've got to quarantine him and his team. Well, how can you have one part of the league practicing and another team that can't be together? So those are all issues that they've got to work through, and what is going on societally in terms of the spike in transmissions. They're trying to keep this, obviously the large gatherings of sporting events, more than almost anything else in our society can contribute to the transmission of corona.
This sort of feels like we need to take it one day at a time, or at least in this case with the NBA, 30 days at a time. If you're curious, 30 days from the shutdown is April the 10th.
Once again, checking in on Twitter, Donovan Mitchell, thanks to everyone who has been reaching out since hearing the news about my positive test. We're all learning more about the seriousness of this situation, and hopefully people can continue to educate themselves and realize that they need to behave responsibly for both their own health and for the well-being of those around them. I'm going to keep following the advice of our medical staff and hope that we can all come together and be there for each other and our neighbors who need our help. That's Donovan Spider Mitchell and his teammate Rudy Gobert, also on social media. I want to thank everyone for the outpouring concern and support over the last 24 hours. I've gone through so many emotions since learning of my diagnosis, mostly fear, anxiety, and embarrassment. The first and most important thing I would like to do is publicly apologize to the people that I may have endangered at the time. I had no idea I was infected. I was careless, and I make no excuses. I'm under great care and will fully recover. Thank you again for all your support. I encourage everyone to take all the steps to stay safe and healthy. Love. That coming from Rudy Gobert as we come right here to the court here, Studio B. We have the full lineup right here assembled. Shaquille O'Neal has joined us. Shaq, obviously a lot of things have happened over the last 24 hours. You've, of course, been paying attention to a lot of it. One of the big things that came out today was Kevin Love actually donating $100,000 to the rest of the Cleveland staff. See the tweet right here coming from Shams to the Cavs arena and support staff affected by the NBA suspension. What's your take on this, number one, Kevin Love's donation?
I mean, it's the honorable thing to do. I mean, I don't know much about the virus. You know, I hear a lot and I see a lot, but we as athletes, we're always taught to play through it. I always think about the Michael Jordan flu game, the Kobe flu game. So a lot of times when, you know, even when I'm sick, I always fight through it. But this is serious. This is something people need to pay attention to. Bill Russell put out a perfect tweet. I think Adam Silver did a good job of just, you know, keeping guys safe. There's a lot of speculation of where it comes from, how it gets here, how you get it, who it affects, and all that. But I think it's something we need to educate ourselves on and find out, you know, how not to get it. I know washing your hands, gargling in Listerine, you know, staying away from, you know, certain people who, you know, give off symptoms. That's a way to, you know, be free of this. But, you know, congratulations to everybody taking the proper steps to, you know, keep everybody safe. I like the tweets that Rudy and, you know, Donovan put out, and you know, I just wish them well. You know, some say it'll take 2 and 3 weeks and they may get better, but it's not really a lot of information that I've seen on what can and you know, will happen. But, you know, everybody's taking proper steps. NC2A, school suspended for 2 or 3 weeks until we get a certain amount of information. But my advice to all the athletes is, even though they teach us to be invincible, not on this one. This one you really got to pay attention to and just, you know, see what's going on. Because I hear a lot and I see a lot, but I'm 47 years old from the age 5. Suck it up. Yeah, it's just a little cough. Right. I don't want to hear that. So
shake it off.
Yeah, shake it off. So, but on this one, you know, with all the stuff going on, I think people should really pay attention to this one and, you know, follow the proper steps.
Tough transition right now, but obviously the players are still in the thick of the season. You've been involved in work stoppages before, as the other guys here, and I've already addressed the question to them. What type of things should the players be doing while they're away from basketball to stay engaged and still be involved with being a professional athlete?
You got to keep in mind, they don't have the Shaq Center at their house like he does. Right. They don't have the Shaq Center.
I kind of had to catch myself, but there's a difference between suspend and cancel.
Yeah.
So with suspend, still may be some hope. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right. June, July. So hopefully we can figure something out. Now, when you say suspends, it's a lot of questions.
Right.
Do we come back in the playoffs? And if you're in the 8th seed now, do we start at, like, you know, or do we, if there are 30 games left, do we play? So it's a lot of questions when you throw out the word suspend. But I think Adam Silver and the powers that be doing a great job until we get a hold of the situation. You know,
yeah, it's been clear. That's why
yes.
I would say, Shaq, I think the only thing that reduces anxiety in the public, the people, and the perception is direct messaging. Like, this is a time to be very direct in leadership and not give vague comments. We're not sure. No, this is what we're doing right now. This is what we're going to do. And that's what Adam Silver is doing and has done. He has created the environment that has happened now by being the first major sport to cancel games.
Being proactive.
Be proactive. He didn't wait. He was clear, he was direct, and he said, this is what we're doing. And then hours and days, and then as the day is going on today, everyone is following suit based on what he did. And that's what I'm talking about, being clear leadership, and that's what we respect, that's what we love.
So the report is out there that this temporary suspension is going to be for at least 30 days. After those 30 days pass, they're going to reconvene.